promoting and supporting some of the cornerstones of the American experience. It's all about family, faith, and freedom. Now let's get back to the Curtis Report with your host, Barry Curtis.
Thanks. Hey, welcome back to the Curtis Report. Appreciate you joining us back here. We do this thing every Sunday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., and we thank you for making us number one in the Dallas-Fort Worth area on Sundays for Conservative Christian Talk Radio. If you're listening between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. to Conservative Christian Talk Radio, you're listening right here at 100.7 The Word, Conservative Christian Talk. I love this station. Love my listeners. Thank you for all of your support. I'm your humble host, Barry Curtis, and we're talking about family, faith, and freedom. Do this thing every single Sunday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Hey, and I'll just warn you, I'll be warning you that there's nothing PC here. There is nothing politically correct about what we say here. So if you're looking for that, you got the wrong state. You got the wrong show. Tune in some other time. But we talk about hard-hitting issues, and we talk about it in a conservative manner, and we talk about it in a straightforward manner. No PC stuff here. This is a PC-free zone. So we appreciate that. Hey, check out our website, which is thecurtisreport.com or thecurtisinitiative.com, curtisreport.com. Take you to the same place. Check out that site. You can follow along with this. You'll have, generally on that site, you'll see photos, bios of former guests, current guests, future guests. Kind of follow along with the people plugging a book, whatever be the case. We do many interviews with Christian authors and political authors and Christian singers and so on and so forth. So check that out there. You can always get someone's album, book, contact an individual guest you've heard, so on and so forth on the show. We were talking earlier, before the first break, about Democratic debate. And specifically, we're talking about Bernie Sanders, the self-proclaimed socialist senator from Vermont. Self-proclaimed, he's a socialist. He indicates that, clearly has indicated that on more than one occasion. And we were talking about how far down the political scale we've come that you're seeing on stage on the Democratic debate. Seeing on stage, you're seeing out here on the campaign trail, everybody trying to out-socialist Bernie Sanders. It's pathetic. It's sickening. It's sad. You know? In that moment in which, on the debate stage there, in which Anderson Cooper turns to the folks and asks them, well, who supports capitalism here? And this is a defining statement from Hillary Clinton. And her comment was, instead of supporting capitalism, talking about American exceptionalism, talking about free enterprise system, talking about ingenuity, creativity, taking risks, talking about the individual. No. Instead of taking that opportunity to talk about all that stuff that makes us good, strong capitalists, all that stuff that made America. No. Hillary Clinton says, and I quote, "Sometimes in capitalism, you have to save it from itself." What on earth is this bizarre statement? What does that mean? Unbelievable. You have the presumptive nominee of the Democratic Party not supporting capitalist ideas of free enterprise, ingenuity, and creativity. Sometimes you have to save capitalism from itself. That's Hillary Clinton. That's the presumptive Democratic nominee's response? Folks, there's something very sad going on when the Democratic candidate, the presumptive nominee, is standing in front of a bizarre individual like Bernie Sanders, a 73-year-old senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders, a self-proclaimed socialist, and has to somehow identify with the socialist standing next to her. Not distancing herself, but to somehow identify with the bizarre socialist standing next to her. There's something very strange about that. Odd. Peculiar. But here's the deal. How did we get to this point? How did this happen? Well, Bernie Sanders, outside of Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders is creating and I can't. He is garnering some large crowds out there. You know that? He rivals Donald Trump. Donald Trump can fill the stadium 25,000 people. Bernie Sanders doing the same thing, 15, 20,000 people. You know, he was recently in Delaware, 15, 20,000 people. Out there in Oregon, 10, 15,000 people. You know, the presumptive Democratic nominee, Hillary Clinton's not doing that. Jeb Bush is certainly not doing that. Even someone I love to death, Ted Cruz, is not doing that. What is happening here? And this is Bernie Sanders. But this is what's happening, that this happens. And there's a lot going on this thing. The reason why this is happening, the reason why the political language that we are talking today is socialist language. Listen to this man, what he says on stage. Listen to what he's talking about he wants to do. I mean, he's the Santa Claus, and that's what socialists come bearing gifts. That's what they do. Look what he's talking about. Free education. Everybody should have free education. And who's going to pay for it? Them. Everybody should have free college. Who's going to pay for it? Them. This is his policies. And this is what he's standing in front of people, and they're cheering, "Yay, Bernie! Yay, Bernie Sanders, socialist, yes, give me free stuff." This is the sickness that is the radical left-wing ideology, philosophy, doings. This is it. They're just absolutely open about it now. This is the threat to our freedoms. This is the threat to liberty in this country. Are those who are bearing gifts, are those who accept government not as the problem, but as a solution, that the government can fix you individually, that the government can fix this country, that the government can make all the wrongs right in the world, that the government can make you feel better when someone hurts your feelings. That's Big Brother Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, the socialist. But he's standing up there saying, free college. Yes, free college. Who's going to pay for it? Well, we're going to take from them. What did he say about that? About free college? We're going to make a Wall Street up, pay for the college. Listen to what he's saying, people. Free college, I'm going to take from them to give to you for free college. There should be free health care for everybody. Everybody. And he always compares us to European countries. Well, Europe, they all have free. All these socialist countries, all of these people he's identifying with in Europe, government controls it. Every part of it. Government takes 85-90% of the salaries of people in Europe. They don't even work. It's cradle to grave taken care of by the government in Europe. People don't work. There's no incentive for anybody to do anything. But this is what he cites, Bernie Sanders. Okay? We're going to take from them to give you free education. We're going to take from them to give you free health care. We're going to take from them to give you a free daycare to take care of your children. We're going to take from them because you should have more than what you have now. You see, your $7.25 is not enough an hour to flip a burger. No, it should be $15 an hour for federal wage rate. Well, who do you think is going to pay for it? According to him, we're going to take from them. We're going to take from big corporations. We're going to take from Wall Street. Really? Typical socialist fashion. Take. And what these people don't seem to understand, who are sitting there cheering him, lauding him, Bernie, go, Bernie, go. What they don't seem to understand is what this man's telling them to their face is, I'm going to take your money too. If you happen to work out there, I'm going to take 80% of your salary. Listen to his words of what he's saying. But they're not, because they're blinded by free stuff. Free stuff. And that's the problem. That's what we're dealing with here. Is a socialist coming bearing gifts. That's what Bernie is. He's a socialist. As far as I'm concerned, he's a communist. We can get to Bernie Sanders and his history here in a little bit. But that's what they are. This here, folks, this election, it's not only this election, but this election, this fight, this philosophy that you're hearing about free stuff, you deserve it, you're entitled to it, let me take from them and give to you, is a threat to the freedom of this country, of who we are and what we're about. Those are dangerous words that you hear being lauded there being just proclaimed so diligently by this self-proclaimed communist. I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you that, I'm going to give you this and that and this and whatever you want, and I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. He's telling you from them. Really? We're up against the hard break. Be right back with more of the Curtis Report in just a moment.